Hello and welcome to the video on the 5 number summary. Okay, I'm just going to do like a quick little review. You're going to make a display, either a histogram, dot plot, or stem and leaf. It's either you're going to make it or it's going to be given. Okay, you need to talk about the shape. You need to talk about the unusual features. You need to talk about the center, and you need to report the spread. Okay, and this is probably the toughest one, but and when we're talking about this, you have the center, which is the median, and the IQ and the spread, which is the IQR. For now, okay. So we have this thing called the five number summary, which basically makes up most of these numbers. And if you use the median and IQR, okay, because later on you're gonna use these two or the other two center and spreads, okay, which I haven't talked about yet. So you use the median and the IQR. You want to report the 5 number summary, okay, and it's very simple. It's just the minimum. It's the minimum data point. It's your Q1. It's the median. It's the Q3, which is 75th percentile, and it's the max. Okay, and we actually construct box plots, which we'll do later. We construct box plots from this. Okay, so that's basically it. You could find this using your calculator. You can find all these numbers using your calculator, and I show you how to do those, okay, on these videos. Okay, so I did want to talk about the IQR a little bit more, even though this is a bit about the 5 number summary. It's very important. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. Would you rather have a small IQR or a large IQR? And remember, the IQR is the third quartile minus the first quartile. So that's the 75th percentile minus the 25th percentile. If you're not sure what a percentile is for any data point that you have, the percent to the left of that data point. So really Q3 is a number that's amongst all my data. So if I was on a histogram, okay, remember these things follow the percent rule, so the Q3 might fall right here. What that means is that 75% that these rectangles, this area in these rectangles make up 75%. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. Alright, so would you rather have a small one or a large IQR? Okay, and the answer is you want a small IQR. This is just a number. Okay, so let's just talk about that for a second. The IQR, 50% of your data falls in between, don't say falls in this range. Do not say 50% of whatever you're measuring falls in this range. I need to be a little careful here too. I need to put a who here too. Okay? Because it's really 50% of the who. Because if you have 100 data, points, you have a who, which is the data is about, and you have a what is who the data is about, and the what is what you're measuring. Okay? So if you have 100 people, then 50 of those people will fall here. So it's almost better to say, it's actually almost better to say both. Okay? 50% of the student heights fell. 50% of the heights of the students fell between, this range or this number and this number. Don't say the range. See, I almost said it. Do not say 50% of whatever you're talking about or whoever you're talking about falls in this range, because the range is a number. You can't fall into a number. And I'll even write that. Can't fall into a number. It's a huge mistake. People always say that. Oh, 50% fall into this range. But a range is a number. Okay, so if the range is 3, 50% of the people fall between 3. Doesn't make sense. So you always want to have a lower bound, a lower, and an upper interval, I should call it. Lower interval and an upper interval. And we want a small one because let's think about it. Let's just say the IQR is 3. And let's do an IQR of 30. Okay, so 3, if I was dealing with scores, okay, or let's say scores. So what this means is the IQR was 3. Let's say Q1 equals 80 and Q3 equals 83. Now, small IQRs imply consistency. I know that's not right. Okay? Consistence. Okay? Consistence or less variability. Remember I said when I think of spread, I think, well, how far the data how much of the data varies from each other. Okay? So the bigger the spread, the bigger the IQR, the more the data vary from each other. The less the data varies from each other, the smaller the IQR would be. The less variability you would have, the more consistent. Okay? More consistency. Maybe there's a C there. A T. That doesn't look right either. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that 50% of student scores were between 80 and 83. So that's pretty good. That means half your scores are only 3 apart. Okay? Or if you have 50% of your data, if you have an IQR of 30, what that could mean is 50 to 80. This could be my Q1. This could be my Q4. So that means 25% got less than a 50, 25% got more than an 80, and 50% fell between this and this. So your data varies a lot. See how much variability there is here? That's a concept. It's hard to, spread's not that hard. That's supposed to be a 3. Spread's not that hard, but you have to get it. You have to understand it. You have to read about it. Okay, it's not something that comes real quick, especially with this IQR. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring up that point that in general we want a small IQR. Okay, thanks.